Obviously, you're a woman and I'm not, so you have a lot more insight into what females necessarily have to deal with going through spinal cord injury. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about that, and what sort of things you have to deal with necessarily when it comes to that.
Okay, so we were talking there about periods. Obviously, that's a very particular woman thing as opposed to men, obviously. And I, obviously, over the years, have had different solutions to managing periods because, obviously, depending on the individual as to how heavy you might be each month, and jumping on and off the toilet isn't very easy, or changing your clothes is not easy every day. So I have had various solutions, from taking the mini pill, basically various things to kind of reduce your periods, so you're not having to kind of manage that. It ends up as a form of contraception as well. So you've got that side of things kind of covered also. But more recently, over the last, I suppose, sort of 10-15 years, I've used the Marina, which is a form of a coil that has a pill drug part of it, and it stays for 5 years and releases, and so basically it takes away your periods, and so you don't have to manage that at all, and it's not something you have to think about at all. You might get the odd spotting each month, but that's easily manageable compared to heavy periods for a week, a month.
Yeah. Does that have any sort of other side effects that is, in terms of like autonomic dysreflexia or anything? Is there any sort of...
No, I've not experienced that. Other women may be different. Occasionally, when the drugs have kind of worn off, I've felt a little bit dysreflexic each month, a little bit more sort of sweaty and clammy, sort of mild forms of, and then I've kind of, okay, that's the reason why. There's also often with autonomic dysreflexia, it's working out what's the cause of it. But mild, not a problem for me anyway.
Yeah.
Others may have found that different. I think probably with the reduction of the periods with the pills I've taken, that's helped. In terms of side effects of taking the pills, there are side effects always with medication, is a form of medication. There is, I think, a fear, if I put it that way, that it can cause more osteoporosis. We're more at risk of osteoporosis anyway because of our injury and obviously not walking and weight bearing and all that. So there's a kind of catch-22 is kind of, do you make that worse, or is that something you live with anyway? I have broken my legs a couple of times over the years and I've tumbled out of chairs. Which something, but is that down to the pill we take? You kind of weigh it up as to how best to manage various aspects of your life, really.
Yeah, way up
and it's worked
benefits.
for me.
Yeah.
With that, I've got to go back next week and have it changed. Joys.
So what sort, is that something you have to go to hospital to do, to have it changed?
Just the local clinic, the GP. The other things, I suppose, really, and it just reminded me, obviously, we have the smear tests every 3 years, which I would obviously always recommend to any female. So I know some people do skip it, and there are obviously public cases of people that have skipped it and died as a result, and so it's a good thing to do. It's not a pleasurable experience for any woman, as women will know, and logistically, being in the chair, you've got to factor that in. But the clinic's now generally better, that they have better couches in that go up and down and are wider, so makes the transfers onto them easier if you can transfer. Or they can organise hoists if you need hoisting. I know others that have had it done at home and stuff, so in liaison with your GP surgery, you should still take up that offer to be tested every 3 years. I'm not quite yet of the age for mammograms, and so in terms of access of them, I'll wait to see. But I know others that have done them, so there must again be ways around doing that. And again, it's a good thing to do because it picks up, any early signs of things and can get treated if you need to be.
Yeah. So you found like over the years that there's nothing really that you can't like have access to or that
No,
there's no restrictions.
I think with anything, a thing that I've learnt over the years is there's always a way around things.
Yeah.
And people will find a way, and there may be different ways I may do things, but I will still persevere and find a way of doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been fiercely independent. I suppose that's one of my lessons for me over the years has been learning and accepting help. And it's okay to do so, and it doesn't make you any less independent. I remember having a conversation with a colleague at work I used to sit next to, and she used to see me, looking to try and get a file out of my drawer, which I was quite comfortable doing. I had my own way of balancing the file on my knuckles and, putting it across onto my lap, however I did it. But she would sit there totally frustrated, knowing that she couldn't ask me, feeling, I don't know, I suppose I was perhaps a little bit more fierce. I was like, no, I'm fine, leave me alone. Kind of attitude obviously came across, and we had this conversation to say she would help anyone. People help people. People like to help.
Yeah.
And actually you are helping them if you accept the help often.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So yes, I would always advocate to be as independent as you can be and not have to rely on people if you don't need to. But equally, at the end of the day, it's we all live together in communities, and we have friends, we have our own networks, and we all help each other.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm going to ask you about, because obviously when I had Grace on last time, we talked a bit about her dating and that, but and obviously nowadays we all have Tinder and the internet, and it's a little bit different. So I was just going to ask you sort of about what it was like for you previously, because obviously you had your injury at an age that you generally go out and start dating, really, basically. So what was that like then, really? Like,
I had a boyfriend at the time of my injury. We probably stayed together longer than perhaps we might have done if the injury hadn't happened.
Yeah.
But that then did break up. I then did date different people. I've never done internet dating. I think it might have been something I might have done if I hadn't have met Paul when I did. When I was living in London, I was very social. I had networks of friends. I didn't always have, permanent boyfriend, but it didn't stop me going out and meeting people.
Yeah.
I think it was just, me being busy at work and doing other things really than meeting someone. And when the time was right and the person was right, I met Paul. I had to go to Africa to find him, but so brought him across and we live here now. So the internet is there and they have those platforms. I've got friends, able-bodied and spinally injured and other disabilities that have met people on it, and then been very successful and have married their partners and they've met through those platforms. So why not? Go for it if it works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously you didn't really have that option back in the day.
Not in the 90s, though.
No, not in the 90s. But it's interesting to hear, like, from somebody's story that, because obviously a lot of the stories I hear is from people in wheelchairs. They find somebody online and that, or they had somebody before their accident and they were with them, and that sort of side. But to hear sort of what it's like, you know, going around when you don't have either of those things, it's interesting to hear that.
I think, you know, in relationships, and the same with anything in life, it's, you know, be yourself,
Yeah.
be who you are. You know, you're not going to be able to hide your disability, so
Like you said
be
earlier,
open and transparent about it is, and then you'll be more natural, and you know, you'll come across as you to whoever you meet, and if you is what that person likes, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, like you said earlier with the when you're at university, you know, generally people act towards you as you act towards them. You know, if you're confident and outgoing, then you're more likely to attract that crowd of people, and it's less about the wheelchair, more about who you are as a person. And I definitely found that over the years myself, you know. And now being with Alice, she says that she doesn't really like that.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, she said that's what makes me interested.
Well, that's something I do talk about actually in the back to work courses. Actually, it's, you know, the wheelchair or the stick. If you know somebody, you know, spinally injured but walks, they it does make you stand out, and so often in, you know, recruitment exercises, you need to stand out, and so if they remember you because you're the person in the wheelchair, as long as you've been good at everything else that they're looking for, then so be it. They remember you. They'll know Ben. They'll know your name. They'll know me as Becky. So use it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.